A few times a year, a team of scientists, researchers, and volunteers comes to the Crystal River to capture wild manatees to gather information on their health.
Pull the animal up on shore. Ready? Now let it roll. Roll it back. One. Pull. 1, 2, 3.
Gather the hands underneath. Hands underneath.
Roll and get its head up. Okay, let's go, guys. Camera tray, we'll pull it straight up. 1, 2, 3. Ah! I need more weight down here to help, please.
We have an opportunity to come out and actually monitor manatees for health assessments here in Crystal River. We've been doing this since 2006, and since that time we've caught 137 manatees successfully, and we've been able to do complete biomedical health assessments on them to determine how well they're doing in the wild and to set and establish baseline information for comparison with future generations of manatees that come to Crystal River to live and hopefully happily and successfully.
We're going to be ultrasounding the heart, and since the heart's on the bottom of the chest, we need to ultrasound from underneath. So the animal will be on top of the table, and the ultrasound will be underneath the table itself.
All right, so on the count of 3, we're going to lift straight up and on. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Keep going, keep going, keep going. We're almost there. Stop. Stop. All right, yeah.
We've got a portable centrifuge. We've pretty much set up an entire lab out here in the field, and we're processing blood samples, which just like a human would go to a doctor and you draw blood, this looks at all your processes in your body, your immune system, kidney function, liver function. It gives us baseline for healthy wild animals. The tissue is for genetics, for DNA, and then also RNA and stable isotopes, which tells us about their feeding trophic structure, where they're feeding in the food chain.
This is deproteinized plasma. So it's a way to preserve amino acids.
So this isn't from the blood, this is a preservative?
It is from the blood.
Oh, it is?
From the blood.
Oh.
It's a plasma sample that we've added some sulfuric acid to deproteinize it, to preserve it, and then after that, it gets put into this handy contraption, which will drop our plasma samples in. We have our tube of nitrogen. We go ahead and create a non-air environment by pumping it full of nitrogen, displacing all the surrounding air.
Wow.
And then we give it a little squirt on the lid there on our tube. We have our lid. We screw it on. Now to be preserved forever.
Well, yesterday we had a record day. We caught 9 manatees. So the potential is fabulous. You know, we're able to come in and snag the manatees that are moving. We don't go into sanctuaries. No one's allowed to go in these sanctuaries here at the Crystal River National Wildlife Refuge. So we're able to snag the manatees when they're in transit between different option areas that they want to use. And some of those are sanctuaries, some of those are the feeding grounds out at the mouth of the Crystal River and elsewhere. So as these transient manatees are moving around, they come down this channel and they're snagged with these nets, pulled up onto the beach, loaded onto a transport boat, and taken over to our hospital where we do the clinical evaluations on them.
How does one go about capturing a wild manatee? First, find a popular swimming path. This one is near the Kings Bay Drive Bridge in Crystal River. Next, get a couple of boats, lots of people who know what they're doing, and one big strong net. Next, extend the net out, and then from the boat, spot an unawares manatee. As the manatee swims into the trap, the net boat circles around and hands it off to the shore crew. Then the net crew gently pulls it in. This can be a dangerous job for the scientists in this slippery, muddy environment with a wild 1,200-pound creature trying its best to fight back. If you think manatees are weak, fat, slow-moving creatures, just watch as this one lifts a 200-pound man clean in the air. Let's see that again. Although it looks cruel, the weight of the people on the manatee actually protects it from injuring itself. In almost every case, the manatee calms down and seems to understand that no harm is going to come to them. The next step is to get the manatee out of the net, and then 2 or 3 hefty straps are put around the animal. These straps are used to roll the animal from side to side so that a stretcher can be inserted under the animal. Once it's on a stretcher, it's then loaded onto a boat and brought around to the other side of the island where tests will be done on the animal. As I watch these manatees patiently letting humans poke and prod them, I wonder what these creatures are really thinking about. After they're released, is it similar to people who claim to have been captured by aliens, brought onto a spaceship, experiments performed, and then returned to their home, only to wonder for the rest of their life just what the heck happened? Or maybe they just forget it all and go about their business.
So our big concern and the project is focused on establishing this baseline, knowing that the population in Florida that's so dependent on artificial sources of warm water, knowing that those sources are going to become obsolete over time or shut down over time because they're human, that we want to wean manatees off to some of these natural places like Crystal River. And so we expect the population here in Crystal River, as a result of having manatees dependent on power plant usage for their warm water, to come into some of these natural sources and start using them. So it does that burden the population. We want to understand carrying capacities and issues related to manatees, foraging capabilities, and those kinds of things in the future. So we're setting that baseline historically now so that we'll have that information to share with researchers in the future.